The hot topics in our business at the moment are very much based around, from a customer perspective, of a cost reduction. Along with that, there are a couple of other issues that are regularly chosen. Environmental issues is a classic at the moment. One has a bearing upon the other, because obviously cost reduction does mean, in many cases, consolidation of infrastructure, which obviously therefore reduces platform and therefore it reduces power and therefore improves the environment. So I would say they were the two major. The IT industry is quite dynamic and always has been. I think we're seeing quite a lot of evolution at the moment. There has been quite a lot of consolidation of smaller resellers being moulded into the larger players, and we're certainly seeing, from the vendor perspective, volume beginning to count. When markets get tough, and obviously like every other market, it's been a challenging one within the last year, 18 months in particular, scale and size actually become quite dominant. There's a lot of pressure as far as pricing from a client perspective is concerned, and of course vendors and larger resellers alike can probably offer greater incentives to the end user than the smaller players. So consolidation is certainly one thing that is very much topical at the moment. I think there are 3 or 4 key areas that end users are very much considering. One is a cost reduction area where people look at the latest technology for virtualization. That's obviously a consolidation of a lot of platforms onto one using the technology of software. Networks seem to be more keen to be looked at the moment as far as security is concerned. So network security is another key aspect, as are infrastructure upgrades within network. I think there's been quite a lot of delay in people investing in their networks after a boom from the internet over the last sort of 5 to 8 years, and we're now seeing further investment into that area. The other area is another cost reduction element, where people are looking to see whether or not they can actually lower costs. It's certainly the major topic within challenging economic times, and people having reduced budgets to invest within their infrastructure, so lowering the costs in different capacities. One way is to look at managed services and how they could potentially lower costs overall by shedding part of the direct business and using a scale of an outsourced company. The other route is people trying to get through to a utility come subscription style pricing. Should they have that opportunity, they'd probably see lower costs accordingly. Managed services come in a variety of flavours, and it's very difficult to create a definition of exactly how it's portrayed. In fact, it's probably an overused term within the industry as we see it at the moment. A simple way of looking at it is, how can I have some of the services that I have to deploy through my business managed by somebody else? It may take some pain away. It certainly can be a cost reduction. And it's looking at various aspects of your IT which are different for every business and seeing how that can potentially be outsourced for someone else to take some control and deliver the service back to your business. They obviously have to work around a very robust and clear contract for everybody to understand. But the key factor why people will consider managed services is twofold, I suppose, really. One is that it actually can present a lower cost base and therefore meet certain budget requirements. The second one is also delivering a service back that the company may not have the resource to deliver. As far as how they are actually delivered back, various technologies can do so, predominantly through the web in many aspects, in particular linked to applications. But it is very much on a subscription base with a strong service level agreement that sits behind them. Managed services are important when considering an IT budget with the pressures that are coming to bear within companies at the moment. Majority of budgets seem to have been slashed in technology. Therefore, it's looking at other ways of cutting the technology and providing a service back to the business. Therefore, there's a cost reduction that can be had. The second part is, as far as the services that are being delivered back, it's not always possible to have all the resource and skill within the business itself. Therefore, managed services could potentially deliver part of the service that you want to come back into the business without actually having to take on the direct costs of the skill resource itself. Increasingly so. As far as mid-market is concerned, it's something that hasn't been viewed at in great capacity in the last few years, and it's always been the larger enterprise companies that are considered outsourcing as a topic. When you look at managed services now, they can be broken down into individual skills and services that need delivering. So therefore, the smaller companies, the mid-market companies, shall we say between 100 and 1,000 users, can very much consider now different ways of deploying services back to the business by looking at managed services, i.e. outsourcing certain elements. This may not eradicate all of the parts of their business. They may still hold control of their own technology, but certain aspects, in particular application linked, can be transferred back to the business via a managed service. They are the main tools that are necessary for a part of your infrastructure. It goes far greater than that, and undoubtedly that they will play a part of it. Primarily, it's looking at all of your infrastructure and seeing what options can be available to you, for everything from a standalone PC to your main application server. On top of that, you have different middleware software products and also applications that can be delivered back in a managed service environment.